Already, member, are we ready to begin our exam readiness preparation? So we are going to start with this one, lesson 1, and it is our algebra expression. And I trust that when we are done with lesson 1, 2, and 3, after our exponents and our equations, you will be able to agree with me that when they say start in your exams, you can skip your true or false, your tables, matching. You can skip your multiple choice and go straight into numbers, straight into algebra, then only later go back into multiple choice. So, what do we have in this first lesson? Let's see. There we go. The simplest question that you can find in algebra. So when they say start, you skip everything else. You go to whatever question number it is. Expressions, and then you do it. So there it is. Answer it, try it first before you view. Then when you're done, you go back to the video to see if you've nailed it, if you have those 6 marks. And you correct anything that has been misunderstood. Then at the end, just listen to the tips and the thorough explanation, then as well as the instruction for our next video. Remember, enjoy. Already, member, let's go for it. Our first one in our exam readiness preparation. So 6 marks. Hope you got all of it, and I hope you paused and you did before you're gonna view. So remember, before I start, I am going to give you a free mark. I'm going to show you that even if you can get everything incorrect, there is 1 mark that you can get there. So I also want to do this. I want to, in all the videos, I'm gonna start by just doing what needs to be done quickly, and then we go to the explanation thereafter, isn't it? Okay. So what were we given? This one, 5.1, 5.2, 5.3. So we were given an expression there, isn't it? Okay. So in an exam, the 5 minutes reading, 10 minutes, you would have read all of that. And then when they say start, you're gonna write and go for it. I'm going to do that as well. Look at this free mark that I'm talking about. So me, in an exam, I will not even bother to start with, 5.1. I'll go to 5.2 and I'll do this. My examiner is not going to punish me because I started with 5.2. I want to make sure I get something. And where can I make sure? When I look at 5.2, they say write down the constant term, isn't it? So there it is, write down the constant term. And if I look at this, there's only 1 constant there. There's only 1 number. So I'm going to take that 7 and just write it down and say, examiner, just in case I make mistakes, I want that 1 mark. So I write that 1 mark. Then I go to the second one. Okay. So in an exam, they give you booklets that have all the questions written on top. So your first step, you don't have to rewrite everything there. All you do now, you start to simplify. So the first one that I will start with, I will collect my like terms and say, okay, the highest power there is what? Is a cube. So I'm going to start with 7x cubed. Then what will I do? I look at the other cubes. I have a negative 2x cubed. And then I have a, what do I have? I have a negative x cubed. Then I say, okay, those ones are sorted, isn't it? Then I can also advise you that so that you don't get confused when there's too many things, you can focus on this one and say, okay, here I can do it in my head and I say 4x cubed. But what is going to happen? I am going to show you that even if you don't do it in your head, but in an exam, I will encourage you to do it in your head because you only have few marks for that. So you don't want to make too many steps and waste time. So you have that, then I would do that. So you can go straight to this step. So I know I'm done with my cubed. Then I go to my squares. Then I go, what is the first squared? It's -2. So what I will do, instead of starting with negative, I will start with the positives so that I don't get confused. So I have 6x squared, and then what do I have? I have a -2x squared. And then in the -2x squared, any other negatives? No, I don't see any other negative there. So there's only 2 of them. And I remember that these 2 give me a 4x squared. So I will write a positive 4x squared. Remember, I must always write everything in every step, because if I skip, it's not mathematically sure. Okay, it's not sure. Then I go to my x's and I say, okay, how many x's do I have? Let me see. I only have 2 x's, isn't it? Okay, so what do I have? I have a positive. What do I have? I'm still collecting my like terms, so I can just say my 2x minus my x. Then what will it give me? It will give me a positive x, and then I must also write it in my final step. So the 3 marks are there, 1, 2, 3, then I'm done. Okay, so that's why I say you don't need to write too many steps. You can just do this in your head. Those negatives are 3 and that positive, then I go there. Okay, yeah, right. Let me go to the next one. So in the next one, what do they have? They have 5.3. I make sure that I label a number correctly. Okay, if I have to put a heading when they ask me, I label properly. Now I must do what? Number properly. Then they say, if x is equals to 1, evaluate the expression. What do they want? Where there is an x, I simply put a -1. Don't forget the power. Then I put a -1. Don't forget the power. I put another -1. There's no power there. Then what will happen here? Okay, I'm going to move it up a little bit. So what's going to happen? It's an odd number. I'm going to have what? A negative. Then here it's a positive because it's a even number. Okay, a plus and a minus gives me a -1. What is here? It's going to be -4. What is here? Both positive. Examiner thinks they are clever. Why do they give me something like this? They want to confuse me, but I'm not going to be confused. These ones, they cancel. That one, it's the only number that's left. Then I have my mark. Okay, so what do they want? They want to see that you know that the negatives must go in the x. So the first mark, what do they want to see? They want to see what happens with your 3 power 3 and that negative when you raise it. Okay, I'll go to it just now. What I want to focus on now is the time. What is the time, member? When did I finish this? I think I finished it by 6 minutes, isn't it? And I was talking. So if you are sharp like that, you can do this in 5 minutes, even 3 minutes, even 4 minutes, but not even 6, not 7 minutes. If you are sharp, that's so easy, sharp. Right. For this one, I'm happy, member. This is what? This is where we are showing that we know how to simplify. We know how to collect terms. So those 1, 2, 3 x cubes, did I put 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3? Then the x squareds, there's 1, there's 2, there's only 2, isn't it? There's 2, Then the x's, how many? There's 2. There's 2. So I have 2, 4, 6, 7 terms. Let me see how many terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ow! Why do I have 8 there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You see, remember, there's something that I didn't do. And I'm not even gonna stress about it. You know why? Because I focused on the variables. My constant term is 7. You see, that's how you recover. That's how you make sure you don't lose marks. You check yourself. This 7 must always be there. This 7 must always be there because it's part of the 8 terms. It's a polynomial. Then this 7, it means I must put it everywhere. I must put this 7 everywhere. I must put this 7 everywhere. These ones, they cancelled. I was left with this one. This 7 I must put 6 marks. 6 marks. Remember, I'm sure you were saying, I say. You got a negative 1. Me, I got a 6. I said, what did you do? I hope you didn't scratch your answer there and say it's wrong. It's not incorrect, remember. Okay, right. So I've just shown you that it's also important to check your work, isn't it? Remember, we are being taught how to collect our like terms. So I did check. I didn't rush and go to the next one. I checked. You see, I went to my numbers there. I said 1, 2, 3. Then I said 1, 2. Then I said 2. Then I said 1. Constant. Then I was able to check, and I didn't panic. You see. So if you panic, you're gonna scratch this and you start down and you waste time. Don't. Okay. Simply put what is missing there and just adjust. Recover just like that. Okay. So remember, we were taught to collect like terms. Then we were taught to what? To simplify. So that's what we did. And now I see why I didn't worry about that 7, because it's 3 marks. So I said 1, 2, 3. That's for the 3 marks. And it's not. It is not, because there's a 7 there. Okay, so it means maybe they'll give you a mark for collecting your like terms. Maybe let's say they'll give you another mark for simplifying, then another mark for writing the correct answer. Okay, so those are your 3 marks. Constant term, 1 mark, there it is, 5.2. So those are our 4 marks. Then the 2 marks here is what? How do you deal with that? Powers, and how do they influence your negative? Okay, so what I'll do now, just before I say bye-bye, I want to address this. Okay, I want to address this. If I have a negative 1 to the power 3, it means I have 3 negative 1s that are multiplying. Okay, then what happens to these 2? These 2 give me a positive 1, and I still have a negative 1 there. It means when I multiply these ones, the last thing I'll have is a negative 1. So that's why we have a negative 1 there. Then here we have a negative and another negative. And then when they multiply, they make a positive 1. That's why I have a 1 there. And we don't need to write the invisible plus, isn't it? Okay. So whenever you have an odd, that's what they wanted to test, your answer will be negative. It doesn't matter, even if it's negative 2 cubed, negative 3 cubed, that answer in the end must be negative. So that even when you go to your calculator, you must remember that. Here, it is what? It is positive. So if you go to your calculator and multiply and put negative 1 without the bracket, check what it does to you. then if it gives you that, you must always remember, if I have a 2, 4, 6, 8 there, what is it? An even power. The answer will be positive. This is what they wanted to check here. Okay. Right. So I hope this will help you with everything to remember and refresh your memory about simplifying, and you'll start to be confident to start with your preparation. So remember, I will say let's meet in the next video.